Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Magus of the Frog. We are checking out the new standard with the release of MTG Foundations here. Now, I'm a returning player into the Magic scene, and this is a brand new Magic Arena account, so I don't have that many wild cards. So I figured let's try out Best of One. There's a qualifier play-in happening this weekend, and let's pick a deck that is easy to build, doesn't require that many wild cards. Boros Burn. Now, I'm playing this because, as a lot of people have figured out, the addition of cards like Bolt Wave, Burst Lightning, Boros Charm, and even Kellen is on everybody's radar in terms of really bolstering this burn strategy. Standard, from what I've read, was really dominated by Standard Best of One was really dominated by the sort of a prowess, heroic type deck where you can pump a lot of your creatures. In this strategy, we are going for more burn spells. And that's really enabled, like I said, with these new cards, but also the old cards like Lightning Helix, Lightning Strike, Shock, Monstrous Rage, and two staple creatures for this type of strategy, Slick Shot Show Off and Monastery Swift Spear. This seems quite simple to pilot at a glance, but after playing a couple of games with it, it just seems to require a lot of minor decision making, a lot of math, which arguably isn't my strong suit, but nevertheless, the games are quick. The deck is really fun to pilot, and you'll be able to crush a lot of strategies. I think that there will be a lot of strategies that will try and counter this one, so be aware of that. But in best of one games, it really comes down to, are you on the play? Are you in the draw? Do you have threats? Can you count to 20? So let's check out some games that I did climbing up the ladder in ranked with Boros Burn. Okay, this seems like a good keep. We can start off with a creature, and then we'll have a few burn spells available. I'm excited to see what other people are playing. It looks like they might be playing on Boros as well. I think given that, we'll just Bolt Wave our opponent, Monstrous Rage our Kellen, and have them down to 12. You got 7 damage on our hand right now. They're incentivized to play a creature that they can equip this to. We can easily Burst Lightning that. And attack for 3. We got 4, 7, 9. We got lethal. I think we'll use our mana efficiently and Burst Lightning them here. Then we can Lightning Strike their Mabel, get them down to 4, and then Boros Charm will be lethal. Fortunately, our opponent just dies to Boros Charm here. Okay. We do get the play, which is really advantageous. We'll give our opponent a hello, and we'll attack with our Swift Spear. White, lay down arms, that is no problem. We've got another Swift Spear here that was quite lucky, and then we can Bolt Wave them and attack for 2. We have them down to 13. We've got 8 damage in our hand right here. Ah, they're playing cats. Okay, in that case, I think I will Monstrous Rage here. And I will shock their Squire. They're down to 8. We got 6 damage in our hand. This deck seems quite fast. Okay. We'll go white here. We'll attack. They probably have to block. We can shock them. And then we might as well Boros Charm now. And get them down to 1. And we have so many spells here that can just finish off the opponent. And we got there. This deck is very fast. Okay, next round here. We did not get to play, but we do have some creatures which I like. Hello! Let's start with an Inspiring Vantage into a Swift Spear. Do they have interaction? Doesn't seem like it. First Strike and Lifelink is good, but we have Shock. We got the full playset of Shocks here. Okay, I guess we got to... We'll do Slick Shot Show Off without needing to plot it. Man, this deck pumps out damage and is quite fast. I'm interested to see what kind of decks you can build to counter this strategy. You'd have to play a lot of removal. And I think we get there. Yep, that's lethal. Okay. Next round, we don't have a 1-drop creature, but we can plot our Slick Shot. We'll keep this. They're playing green. We'll play a mountain and pass. Are they playing a Llanowar Elf type deck? We'll go mountain, and then we will plot the slick shot. Okay. Dewy Lightning Helix it. Okay, so this goes on white. We'll play the slick shot. We'll Lightning Helix now because that uses the colors. And then Burst Lightning them. Have them down to 13. See, if they have a removal spell, we have... Ooh, that's a big creature. Playing dinosaurs, it seems. Okay, let's do some math here. We get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They didn't remove our creature. So I think we just lightning strike them and keep up the burst lightning. Or we go for it. I think we go for it while they are tapped out. Then let's hope we draw any of our other spells that can help get us there. There's Bolt Wave, Lightning Helix, Boros Charm, Lightning Strike. Oh, that's very cool. So they don't get the stun counter because they get the Roaming Throne. Then now we got a few draw steps to draw lethal, which we do. Okay, we're gonna keep this hand. We've got Kellen and Monastery Swift Spear. I think we start off with the Kellen. Okay, we'll do Battlefield Forge, Monastery Swift Spear, and then a Bolt Wave. They could have the token generator. Elspeth's Might. Looks like they're just passing the turn here. We'll attack. Yeah, moment of truth. And then I think we'll do Lightning Strike. Dewey Monstrous Rage here. I think they would have used Elspeth's Smite in response to the Lightning Strike. Ah, they had Into the Floodmaw. Okay, in that case, we will play the Swift Spear. We'll attack. And we will plot the Slick Shot. Do they play some sort of Planeswalker here? Interesting. We'll go Slick Shot. Attack. Do they have Aetherize? I don't think Monstrous Rage will save that. Let's just have him take one. Looks like they have some sort of Abhorrent Oculus. Ah, okay. If we shock the face down card, if they block, we get +2/+0. I think we just have to pass here, unfortunately. Okay, might as well go for it. Okay, so this gives us an out of play of getting Boros Charm. But if we don't draw it, that's unfortunately game. Ah, they already had something that could kill us. Okay, we're on the play here, which is always good for the mono-red deck. We'll keep it. We'll play a Kellen turn 1. I think we'll just level up the Kellen here. We don't have to do it now. We can wait till the end of their turn. Okay. That's fine with me. That means we get to level up Kellen, and we get a double striker next turn. Having 6 damage come from one creature in a mono-red deck is just pretty good. We've got 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We've got lots of lethal in our hand. Another beanstalk. It's possible our opponent can be playing into the Flood Maw, so we'll attack anyway. There we go. We'll play Kellen again and pass the turn. This is the Overlord. Ah. In that case, I think we Lightning Helix it. Okay. Do they have another Into the Flood Maw? They do. And we'll just pass. We are in no hurry here. We've got tons of cards that can bring us to lethal. Now, how can we... I think we'll use a Boros Charm here instead of leveling up the Kellen. We'll attack here. Do we have lethal in response? We got there. Okay, next round. Opponent goes first. We'll keep this hand. We got some creatures and some burn spells. I love it. Our opponent's playing the same deck. Ah, grab the prize, huh? In that case, do we keep up Slick Shot slow? This for plotted, or do we just get in there for one? If we get in there for one, it can be quite problematic. So let's just have that looming, and they would have to keep some spells up. So we can at least use Boros Charm to make our guy indestructible. Okay, we'll do this. Do we Lightning Helix them since they're also a burn spell, burn deck? Have them down to 10. We've got lethal in our hand. We just need more mana. Okay. How do we deal with this? We can... 1, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus Boros Charm is not quite there, if I'm doing this correctly. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll be down to 12. That's unfortunate. If we get up to 12, they would need to do... No, we won't be going up to 12. Okay, let's just use the Swift Spear here. We have lethal next turn. We can use Boros Charm to make our Slick Shot indestructible. So we'll block here. Permanents you control gain indestructible. And then we have lethal here. Okay, we're going first. We've got Kellen and a Slick Shot. So we'll keep this. Sparbluff Canal. Let's try going without plotting. Ah, playing one of the battle cards. Okay, so let's go red. We'll play the Slick Shots, and then we'll Bolt Wave them and do a lot of damage. They're down to 6. We've got lethal on board, and that's game. Okay, we got an interesting hand here. We got double Bolt Wave, 2 creatures, and a Monstrous Rage. Definitely keeping this. Our opponent took a mulligan. So given how fast this deck is and how simple it is to make, I imagine a lot of people will either play it or be prepared for it in the upcoming qualifier weekend play in. So it'll be interesting to see the decks that come out of it. But it is quite simple to build, but I would say it could be quite difficult to pilot. There's a lot of minor decision makings that you'd have to do and a lot of math, which is not necessarily my strong suit. We attack here with the Swift Spear. They are playing... So I think I am actually going to play Kellen here, Monstrous Rage the Swift Spear, and attack for 4. Attack for 5. Our opponent has a lot of tap lands, which is working well for us. Next turn we can Slick Shots show up plus Bolt Wave. Do they have a counter here? cut down maybe. Ah, Leyline Binding. That makes sense. So they're down to 6. We have lethal in our hand. And we have more than enough with our creatures on the battlefield. So Boros Charm is really good because even though cards like Day of Judgment has popped up in this set, this gives all of your creatures indestructible. So we'll start with a Bolt Wave here. And we got there. Okay, opponent goes first. We're still going to keep this. We don't have white mana for our Boros Charm or Lightning Helix, but we have a perfectly keepable hand with the Swift Spear. We can Bolt Wave plus Shock next turn. But instead, we will Kellen and Shock. Looks like they're playing some sort of enchantment deck. They're gonna return our Kellen. That's okay. We're gonna Bolt Wave here. And do we Bolt Wave again? Let's attack first. We're gonna shock their face. And we got there. This deck has just been a menace. Okay, this is an interesting hand. We don't have any creatures, but we are in the draw, so we can possibly draw one. We've got 7, 10, 13, 15 damage. So I think it's worth keeping. Blue-green. We'll start off with a Bolt Wave. Our opponent's ramping. We're going to play a mountain here, and we're going to pass. 6, 10, 13, 15 damage. Okay, 1 damage to me. And I think I'm just gonna go Lightning Strike their face. Okay, we'll go this on red. We'll go Slick Shot, Show Off, without having to plot it. We'll Burst Lightning their creature. And attack for 3. We already have 11 damage at our hand, so we just gotta keep using our spells. Question is, do they have a way to gain life? Okay, we Lightning Strike, and then we Boros Charm them. And then we have Lightning Helix to finish them off. That has reach, but it doesn't matter. We are just going to Lightning Strike them. Wow, this deck is insanely fast. Okay, opponent goes first. We're gonna keep this hand. We've got our creatures. We got some removal. Let's start off with our trusty Swift Spear. Do we put this on white? I don't think so. We're pretty heavy on red. Okay, we already got a white card anyway. In that case, I think we go Swift Spear and we attack. We will burst lightning their Siphoner since that can gain life. Interesting. Okay, so we're gonna do this on red. We're gonna play the Slick Shot. We're gonna Bolt Wave them. They probably have a removal spell. Cut down Bitter Triumph. Discarding a Withering Torment. We'll attack for 4 here. They're down to 10. And unfortunately for my opponent, I think that is game. We're gonna Bolt Wave here. We're gonna Boros Charm here. This hand, I think, is a mulligan. It's just, it's very. This is good. I don't think this is good. We need a second land, and we've got triple legendaries. So let's hit mulligan. This, I don't mind keeping because we have double Swift Spear. Let's put back Boros Charm, since it's not a guarantee that we'll be able to cast it. Start with Swift Spear and attack. Each opponent discards 2 cards unless they discard a non-land card. Let us discard our Lightning Strike. We'll play a Swift Spear here, and we'll attack. Fortunate that we didn't get our second land there. We did take a risk with the mulligan that we got. Exiling, I think we exile our Slick Shot. Or do we exile the Lightning Strike? I think we exile the Slick Shot. Land here is great because we get to burst lightning. Their sleeper. They're not going to be attacking anyway. I mean, they're not going to be blocking anyway, but I think it's still worth doing. And then we'll Monstrous Rage one of our Swift Spears here. Do they have another discard card? We would lose our Lightning Strike. We got there anyway. Victory, and we get the next rank. Those were some very, very quick games. Mono Red is just a powerhouse, it seems, not only since last standard, but now in this standard as well with the burn cards. So there we have it. We played a couple of games. We went to the next rank. I think the burn version of the Mono Red deck this time around is quite strong. As you saw from those games, they're very quick. Kellen is an all-star. You can use their ability in instant speed, so you don't necessarily have to commit to it. Slick Shot, Monastery Swift Spear are just staples in terms of this type of deck, and the addition of Bolt Wave, Boros Charm, and Burst Lightning has just been amazing for the strategy. And of course, things like Monstrous Rage, Shock, Lightning Helix, and Lightning Strike just increase the redundancy of your deck. I think that 20 land count seems to be quite enough. It was only one game that we were stuck in one land there. It was a calculated risk, but I think that having two lands in general is enough for this deck to function. So I'm excited to keep playing more games with it, see what kind of strategies people will create to counter it, because I think this will be a very popular core to the burn deck that a lot of people will be checking out. We did lose to the Abhorrent Oculus deck. I think we still had an out there with the Boris Charm, but it is hard to deal with a 5/5 flyer and that double striker that can flip up. Anyway, thank you so much for checking this out. I really appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, provide some engagement for my growing YouTube channel. Otherwise, have a great day.